Hi, this is Ariel Grace from A Gang of Girls Radio and author of I'm Psychic, Not Telepathic. That's the name of the book. You can find it on Amazon and on my website at arielgrace.net. Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about mediumship. And I had a debate going on with myself, but tonight we are going to be talking about mediumship skills. We're going to be talking about hauntings, what to do with them, what a psychic medium does to assist with paranormal investigations. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. And that way I can see them, okay? Hey, Bonnie. So, all right. So we're in the throes of the coronavirus still. And it looks like we'll be, we're going to be going through this for a while. Even if they open up your state or even the country, please remember to be careful, only because it is a virus. And so what do viruses do? Well, they mutate. So we want to make sure to stay safe anyway. All right. All right. So check with your state and your counties and your townships to make sure that what's going on locally for you so you can keep up to date with everything going on there. Please be resourceful, practical, and make intelligent decisions. Right. So stay vertical, and that way, you are like centered and balanced, and you are able to make good decisions for yourself. Okay. Make sure to wear your masks and gloves if you can. All right. So, so tonight we're going to be referring a lot to a book that I wrote that's called Haunted, a Psychic Story. If you've read Haunted, a Psychic Story, then some of the things that I'm going to tell you tonight, a review. If you've read Haunted, a Psychic Story, and you haven't done a review for it on Amazon, please do a review for me. I totally appreciate it so much. All right. Now, I don't do psychic medium readings. But my bro, Psychic Theo, does. And you can check him out at psychictheo.com. If you need an astrology reading, you can check out Reverend Rhonda at karmiclaw.com. For those of you who need a cord cutting ceremony, you can check out Melinda Carver on Facebook and get an appointment with her. She's active. She's on. She will check her messenger things. I don't normally do that, but she does check hers. Okay, so tonight, the stone of the night is Amazonite. And hold on, let me get my fingers up here. This is Amazonite. That's what it looks like in its polished form. Amazonite. It's kind of got that mint green to it, right? So, and it has these like little fibrous things going through it. So, you can see that. This is Amazonite from Brazil, from around the Amazon area. This is Amazonite that's rough. This Amazonite comes from Russia. And see, it's a little bit like darker. It's a darker color. That's how you know it's Russian. When it's polished, it's really pretty. Sometimes Amazonite will look like turquoise. And there are some people that try to pass Amazonite off as turquoise. So please be careful when you're buying turquoise. Okay? So that's from Russia. This is what it looks like as a tumbled stone. It's a little tumbled stone. So cute, huh? I love Amazonite. Um, Amazonite is good for children. It really is. It's a heart stone, so it's good for your heart chakra. But it's good for kids. It assists them with calming, soothing. It will assist them with sleeping, and it's a really good kid stone. It's good for adults too. Hey, Iris. So Amazonite is good for adults too. But when kids are having problems focusing, or if they're having problems like sleeping, or they're having problems with like just being too busy, Amazonite is a good stone to give your child, or to even put at their bedside table. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to read to you about Amazonite from my trusty Gem and Mineral book. So Amazonite is blue-green mottled with paler green specks. Okay? It comes from Madagascar, Russia, and the United States. It's easily obtained, and it is. You can get it on Amazon. In fact, I think that's where these came from. I think these came from Amazon. It's a 6, so it's pretty hard, but don't throw it in a bowl with anything harder, like a quartz crystal or something like that, because you'll scratch it. So if you're going to put it in a bowl with a quartz crystal, make sure that it's on the other side of the bowl. Okay, so physical and emotional characteristics, or what what is good for: facilitates loving, compassionate communication by bridging the heart and the throat chakra. Clears congestion from the chest and throat areas, easing sore throats and coughs. Helps to balance the energy of the thyroid gland and the throat. Helps recovery from emotional disputes or traumas. So you can place it over the heart, upper chest, or throat as needed to soothe and balance the energy of those chakras. Use your sensitivity to gauge which area needs the most help. Or if you're working with a friend, ask them to sense as well. So you can wear it or carry it to help you deal with emotional challenges and relationship issues. Hey, Maureen. So this is a great stone for that. In fact, I use Amazonite for the throat chakra. So when I'm doing chakra stuff, I use Amazonite to put on the throat chakra, because it is a really good communication stone. Remember, communication isn't just yakking. It's listening too. So it helps a person pause to listen. It's a love stone. Okay? Love and communication. All right. So this is Amazonite from the Amazon. This is Amazonite from Russia. Hey, Julie. All right. And you can use those. These are really good for adults and children. Okay. Okay. So tonight we're going to end our mediumship info. I'm going to talk to you about hauntings and what to do with hauntings and what a psychic does to assist paranormal investigators. So a lot of the information is from a book I wrote called Haunted: A Psychic Story. If you have that book, we're going to be reviewing. If you don't have that book, it's on Amazon. You can look it up, Haunted: A Psychic Story, or you can go to my website, arielgrace.net, and click on the author tab. And that'll take you to a psychic story series where you can actually preview the books there, and you can buy the books from there on Amazon. Okay. So, I do assist with hauntings. That's one of the things that I was taught to do. My teacher really truly believed that the more we clear or transmute energy here on Earth, the easier it is for Earth herself, Gaia. And so the more negativity we're able to transmute into love, the better the planet is, the higher it rises in resonance or vibration. Okay? And so what we learned was, instead of doing readings, personal readings for people, is we learned to clear haunted spaces, haunted objects, and haunted people, because there's all three. There's actually haunted museums. Some of them you might be able to find on YouTube. You may be able to Google them. Just put in haunted museums. There's haunted museums in the United States. They do take in objects that are haunted, and they do what they need to do for those objects so that people are safe. So we're going to start with objects first. Objects that are haunted should not be destroyed. The reason why they're haunted is because something's attached to them. And if you destroy the object, that whatever's attached to them may go and attach itself to another object or person. So what you want to do is call up a museum, or look up the museums and look at their reviews and see what their reviews say, as far as their museum goes, and the care that they take of the objects in the museum. There's certain things that they do to the objects. One of the things that they will do is they'll place an object a lot of times in a box. Sometimes it's an acrylic box. Sometimes it's a wood box. Sometimes it's a metal box. It just depends on the museum, I think. But what they do is they surround it with salt. And some of the museums actually have priests that come in to bless objects and do some kind of ceremony with them. I don't know what they do. But so objects can be haunted. I always warn people, don't buy anything from an auction. Like, don't go to a haunted object and buy something from that auction, because you're going to take it home. And you don't want whatever's stuck to that thing in your home. There's too many people now that have objects in their homes and they don't know what to do because their homes have become wrecks. And so you want to just leave it to leave those haunted objects to the museums. Let them pick them up. Let them put them where they need to do and put the protections up that they need. Okay. So I know this personally because I picked up a baby doll that was haunted. And, oh my God, what a nightmare that was. But I did pick it up. We went to go look at a rental property in Virginia. And while we were looking, I went out on the patio, and there was this baby doll, and it was hanging actually from a noose. And so I went over and I took the baby doll off the noose and I set it down. And then I went to go look at the rest of the house. And I looked at the rest of the house, and then I looked down in my arms, and the baby doll was in my arms. I'm like, how the hell did this thing get here? So I put the baby doll back down, and we're talking about the house rental, and we're talking, we're like deciding if this is a good place. And I don't even remember it, but that baby doll ended up back in my arms again. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do about this. So I took the baby doll back to where we were staying at my mom's house. And it was one of those plastic baby dolls, so I put it in the dishwasher to clean it up. So it went in the dishwasher to clean it up. It came out. I wrapped a towel around it. And it's like I could not put that thing down. So it ended up wrapped in a towel outside in the barbecue pit because I could not, I had to just get it out of the house because it was driving me crazy. So, I called my friend. She is a really cool lady. Her name is Chestaneka Eagle. And I'm like, dude, I picked up this baby doll. I don't know what the heck to do with it. It keeps ending up in my arms. And she's like, oh. So she fixed me up with this Indian man, this chief, and I went over to see him. And he's like, why did you pick it up? I go, well, it was hanging by a noose. He goes, you don't touch stuff like that. You can't do that. Didn't your teacher tell you stuff like that? And I'm like, well, yeah, she did, but I wasn't thinking. And he's like, you need to think. So he did a cleansing on me. And then I went back to my mom's house. I took the baby doll out of the barbecue pit. I put it in a box with a box of salt and rose petals. And then I took the box with a shovel and went out into the forest and I buried the box with more salt. And so, and that's how I was able to get rid of it. I figured the salt will absorb whatever was on the baby doll, so it would release, whatever it needed to be released. So that's what I did with the baby doll. I told my teacher about it. She goes, well, that's what you were supposed to do. So, you did it. You cleared it. You buried it. Good job. And I was like, okay. So after that, whenever I go somewhere, even if I'm in somebody's house that I know, I do not touch anything. Nothing. If you asked me to look at something, you want to hand me something, I might hold it. I don't know. I might not. I might just let you hold it and I'll look at it. And that's just how it is because I learned my lesson. I'm not picking up anything that has any bad juju on it. So, haunted objects. Do not go to auctions to buy a haunted object. If you happen to come across a haunted object, call a museum and have them come pick it up because they'll pick it up. They'll come and pick it up for you. Okay? All right. So, that's the first thing. Haunted people. Okay, so there are a lot of haunted people. There actually are. It's not that unusual. People get attachments. You can get an attachment anywhere pretty much because hitchhikers hop around, spirits hop around, and they'll hop from one person to another. Just depends on what the spirit is or whatever. So if you start feeling not yourself, or the feeling I always get is I'm looking through my eyes, but I feel like somebody else is seeing through my eyes. And so when I feel that feeling, then I know I need to clear my energy field and I need to release a spirit. So what I do is I do the centering and balancing meditation, which is on my website. And I do that and then I focus on whatever is attached to me. And then I open a window or a doorway. And the window and doorway, like the doorway will look like a hallway and it's a light and there's light in the hallway. When I open a window, it looks like a sunny day and I don't change it. I just leave it. I just open the window and say, here you go. You're going to feel, everything you want and desire is through the doorway or window, whichever. And everything you want and desire is through those spaces. There you go. Go for it. And you may even start to see silhouettes or other people come closer to the window or the door. And that's usually their relatives or friends or somebody coming to greet them there. And so you just hold the space until you feel the presence move out. And you'll immediately feel a shift, or you'll feel relieved. You'll feel buoyant. So that's a way that you can do that. If you can't do it, call Theo or I, and we'll remove it for you, because it can be done very quickly. The first time it happened to me, it kind of freaked me out, and I ended up with a slave. He was a slave, and he had been beaten pretty bad. In fact, I feel like he was probably beaten to death. And so when he attached himself to me, I felt that, like, pain. And I wasn't able to let anyone touch me. So it was really hard for me to work that day. It was really hard for me to be a mom and stuff. So again, I called Chastenika, and Chast and I, we sat down, and she was able to assist me with releasing that spirit so that it could move on. He was waiting for his sweetheart. He didn't know where she was. So what Chastenika did was she went and found his sweetheart and brought the sweetheart to him so that they could leave. And so we did that for him, and he left immediately as soon as he saw her. So sometimes I will ask them, like, what's it going to take if they won't go through the doorway? And sometimes it's really an easy thing for them. Sometimes it's not, and I have to just tell them, look, this is not going to happen. You're going to have to go. And so I do that. Now that is a haunted person. When I've worked on other people that have been haunted, sometimes what they'll do is they'll come see me, and they'll not know why they're coming to see me. And they're just like, I need help. I don't know why I need help. I don't know why I need to go home. I don't know why. Because you're going to hear the spirit say, I want to go home. Home. You'll hear it a lot. Home, home, home. Even if you're home, you're going to be like, I'm already home. But the spirit will tell you, home, home, home. And so home is the light, right? So open the doorway, the window, go home. There you go. There's your way. And immediately once they realize it, they'll go. Okay? Spirits that have unfinished business won't attach themselves to you most of the time because they're busy doing their unfinished business. So, and that's been my experience. Most spirits they will totally ignore you because they got things to do, people to see, and places to go. So they'll leave you alone. When I do go into haunted places, like say in Chicago, there's a couple of places, more than a couple, but Chicago, Colorado, Virginia, there were lots of places there that I went into that were haunted, and most of those spirits didn't give a crap if I was there or not. They were just like, I'm here, leave me alone, things to do, So, and I wouldn't bother them because they weren't bothering me. So that's a haunted people idea. I think I go more into depth on that in my book, Haunted: A Psychic Story. So if you're curious about that, you can check that out. Now, when I get asked to do like an investigation, when I'm working with a paranormal team, I don't go in with the team. I actually go in at a different time. And I go in with one team member. Usually it's a head person, it's a head team member, or it's a historical person. Because a good paranormal team it's a team. They work all together, but they do research. They'll research the property to see what's happened on the property, what might be beneath the property, like as far as minerals go, burials, how long have people been living there, who's owned it, who died in it, who lived in it, how many times it's been sold, all that stuff, right? So they're going to want to know everything about it. And sometimes they'll look at the histories of the houses on either side as well, right? So just to see if, we got some travelers going on, because there's a lot of neighborhoods that are, the whole neighborhood's haunted. And so there's like these travelers, I call them travelers, and they travel through the houses at certain times during the day. And maybe the house tract or the houses were built in a place where people walked home. And so you got residual stuff going on. With residual hauntings, you can use salt and the scent of roses to clear it. I don't use sage because most of the spirits I work with like aren't American Indians, and so you like burn sage, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And sometimes it will agitate spirits, so I don't use sage or incense while I'm clearing a house. I'll use it afterwards, but not during a clearing. I use salt and roses. Salt is because it absorbs sorrow and anger and frustration. So it absorbs that kind of stuff. Roses because it raises the resonance of the place. And if you can raise the resonance of the place high enough, the spirit will leave on its own because it doesn't want to live there anymore. The resonance has changed, and it's like, loses interest. Those are easy ones. What I do is I do a walkthrough with the investigator, and they usually tape it, and they take notes too. I don't normally take notes because I'm busy listening, but I do a walkthrough, and I just let the investigator know like my impressions of the place that we're at, whatever they are. Doesn't matter. And then they take that into account. They listen to me, and then they put that in their notes. I don't normally do anything until after their investigation, and if the people in the home want me to clear the house. And then I'll go back and I'll clear the house. I usually put the salt in a bowl. Like it's either a glass or wood bowl. In my own home, I always salt the doorways and the windows. So I put salt down as a boundary in my entrances to my home, and also in the windows. So for those of you who have haunted houses, like if you have like rooms that are haunted, you can take those little monkey dishes. They're little tiny bowls. They're like about this big around, and pour kosher salt in them. I use kosher salt. You can use, a sea salt. And I just pour it in there. I don't pour a lot in there. I just pour it in there, and then I put it in the room. So if it's something that I think is layered, definite salting that place. You're welcome, sweetie. Okay, so when you're clearing a home, sometimes you may have to go back. I never tell people, yeah, it's all gone, because you never know what's going to pop up after you clear the first layer, right? So I always say, if you have any problems, give me a call. I'll call you in a week, see how you're doing. And then we go from there. We'll see what happens from there, because you never know what is going on in a home. Sometimes you can get the home cleared in one go. Like sometimes it's just one person in there, and you can clear them out, get them going on, and they're happy to leave. A lot of times they're like, "Oh, I can leave? Yeah, you can. Go. Everything you want and desire in the light. Go, go, go." So the layered hauntings are more, the more complicated it is, the more times you're going to have to go back and clear it. Clear it like, it's like an onion. You go in, you clear off the first part of it, and then you go back and you clear it again. It just depends on where the haunting is, what the history of the place is, and how many are in there. Right? So this helped my friend in Chicago with her basement. She always has problems with her basement. Spirits love her basement for some reason. And so, we just cleared the basement. I know that there's more in the basement, and she knows there's more in the basement, but we got what we could that day. And so she was sending me pictures, like, as we were clearing. And so I could see, like, the different objects and things that were in the basement. So, I would say we got 50% of that basement cleared up. But there's some haunted objects down there. So, and get those cleared. But, so when you do go in to clear a house, you want to make sure that what's in the house, because there's different kinds of spirits, and you want to make sure that you're not dealing with a poltergeist. Poltergeists are totally different things. It's a totally different ball game. With a poltergeist, it's usually attached to a teenager, because, you got the whole teenage angst going on, right? So, with teenagers and poltergeists, what you want to do is give them an outlet. I'd say like Taekwondo, meditation, yoga, art, something creative to give them an outlet so that it'll disperse the energy. Okay? A lot of times too, like poltergeist will be in, probably 9 to 18 months. But you want to make sure that teenager has an outlet to release their frustration or hormonal stuff. So you want to do that. Keeping them uplifted, and that way too, that'll disperse the energy as well. Because a poltergeist is not a spirit, it's an energy. It's energy. So if somebody tells you a poltergeist is a spirit, they're full of crap. All right, poltergeists are different though. So you're going to have to really, look at the energy of the home. All right? Okay, so after you get through clearing the house, make sure that you teach your people, what to do. Like, teach them what you've been doing. Sometimes they'll follow me around when I'm clearing, and I'll teach them different things to keep their house safe and keep it clear, right? So, and you want to teach them that. That way they know, they understand. And as soon as spirits are released from the home, the resonance of the home will raise. It'll raise up. If it's a really bad haunting and you're able to clear the house, the whole neighborhood will raise up. So you're transmuting that energy, right? You're clearing it, clearing the spirit out, and then you're also clearing the home out. You're giving it a nice little sparkle back. People will be attracted to it again. People might be even attracted to the neighborhood again, right? So that's something that will be good. Hey, Mom. That's my mom right there. She's cute. Okay, so when you clear homes, that's, it really helps. Clearing your own home, it helps. If you live in an apartment, it helps because then it helps everybody around you. I used to do a lot of community service work. That's what I called it, community service work. We used to go clear graveyards. And so it usually, for a graveyard, it usually takes about 2 or 3 hours to clear a yard. But what happens when you clear a yard is that not only does it raise the resonance of that land, but it also raises the resonance of land that's connected to it. Right. So you want to be prepared for it too, because it does take a while to clear a yard. You want to prepare the yard too as well to be cleared. And there's things that you can do to do that. So when you clear haunted spaces, make sure you set up boundaries. with the spirits, like, no, you can't touch me. Go over there. And unless you have something that is relative or something that needs to be said, there's the door. Get out. Leave. And a lot of times I'm pretty nice to them. If they're kind of huffy with me, I show them the door. I'll just say, hey, look, I'll be really nice and light and stuff. Unless they get tough with me, then I get tough with them. So, what do I do to prepare for it? Well, before I even go in the door, I invoke the Archangel Michael to walk with me throughout the house, to guide, guard, and protect me. I wear amber. Amber is a highly protective stone. It will protect you in all places. I'm not fond of black stones, so I don't wear obsidian normally. I have obsidian here in my house, but I don't wear obsidian. I don't even think I have obsidian jewelry. So I wear amber. And here's an amber ring that I wear. It's green amber. And another one. It's like goldish green amber. And then I have amber jewelry that I wear that I use when I go to clear houses to protect myself with. Usually I say a prayer while I'm opening the window, the doorway, the vortex, whatever you want to call it. I say a prayer for safe journeys, and so that the peeps can go home, the spirits can go home. Don't go in all gangbuster and be like, I'm a tough guy, because it's not going to work. It really won't work. All your spirits will just stand around like, what? And you might get something thrown at you. You don't want that. And you don't want a spirit to attack you, because that's not good either. That's not fun. That's not cool. Be respectful. Okay? So, because you want to make sure that it's done in a good way, in a high vibrational way. Okay? Okay. So, those are my recommendations, and that's how I perform my psychic medium skills. That's what I do as a psychic medium. My goal is to assist with raising the resonance of wherever I'm at. And so if I get called to go somewhere and do something, I will. And I do help people. Now, I don't deal with anything that is demonic. If you have something going on that's like that, I will refer you to a demonologist or a priest, because I'm not doing that. I won't even go near it. If I see it, I don't even go in there. I don't think it's brave, cool, courageous, whatever, to walk into something like that blind. Forget it. So if you're dealing with something like that, get a hold of a demonologist or a priest. They can help you. Make sure that demonologist is really a demonologist. Because some people say they are, and they're not. And they don't know what the hell they're doing. And they can make a bigger mess of whatever mess is there. Okay? So a lot of times what, you should do is just leave the property alone. Just leave it alone. Don't touch it. Don't disturb it. Just leave it there. Don't bother with it. Let it rest. And that's what I tell people. They say, well, it's my house. Well, if it's your home, you need to call a priest or a demonologist. Especially if you have children. You want to make sure those children are protected. Okay? So before you buy a home, property, or anything like that, make sure that you check the records. Make sure you find out about the place. Make sure that it is a safe place for you to live. Because if it's not a safe place for you to live, don't buy it. I don't care what a deal it is. And usually, haunted places are a deal. They are such a deal. They're a steal. And you could get it for 75% off, Be aware of that. That way you don't have to spend money refurbishing, cleaning, clearing, and having somebody come in and clear the home. All right? Okay. All right. So that's what I would do. If you want to know more about it, you can check out other videos I've done on YouTube about hauntings and what you can do with them. You can check out the book, Haunted: A Psychic Story, and read that. It will help you. There's a lot of stuff in there, a lot more than what I'm talking about because I really don't have time to talk about it, all of it. But it can give you a really good way of dealing with that from a psychic's point of view. Okay? All right. Okay, so next month we're going to be talking about Ascended Masters. A lot of you have asked me if I could talk about Ascended Masters. So we're going to be talking about Ascended Masters next month. If you have a certain Ascended Master that you want to learn about, let me know. And I'll look them up and I'll do some research. Every week we'll do one Ascended Master. And I'll research them and give you the information and how to connect with them to assist you. Okay? So, but we are going to start next week with Lord Melchizedek. And he's also going to start writing some blogs too. So you'll see the blogs come up on Facebook. They're going to be called Spiritual Warrior, Lord Melchizedek, and I'll put a number next to them so that you'll know which ones came next. I think it looks like there's going to be about 10 blogs. So 10 weeks worth of blogging for you from Lord Melchizedek, which will be cool because he's pretty darn awesome. So make sure that you're doing the automatic writing meditation. Okay, practice it every week so that you can connect with your spirit guides and angels and you can create that relationship for yourself. All right? It's really important that you know who your spirit guides and angels are, what they're telling you, and how or what they're guiding you to do, and what to do with yourself. You know, because a lot of you are like, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know what my spirit guides and angels are saying. That's a great tool to help you. Okay? The automatic writing meditation is on YouTube, and it's also on my website at arielgrace.net. All right. So, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have questions after watching it or whatever, or something occurs to you, write them in the comments. I usually go through the comments a couple times a week to make sure that I covered everybody's questions or comments. Okay? All right. So, have a wonderful week. And remember to stay safe. Please stay at home right now. Okay? Keep yourself safe. And remember to keep your heart open and align with the energy of love. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Good night.